Mr. Eggplant presents.
Oh baby.
Hey guys, Tyler here. Thanks for checking out this video. And we're continuing on with our string of Mythic Pluses. This one is also from this week. Tuesday was very good to me for Mythic Plus. So we are just continuing on here. This was actually the key that we did to get that Siege of Borealis 11 that I had posted, I believe, yesterday, depending on when I put this video out, of course. But we two-chest this one. Freehold is really easy, I think. I would have to say also that in my last video, I wasn't sure which mythic was probably my favorite, and it's probably this one. I just love everything pirates. I'm a huge pirate Lego fan. Anything pirate I love. And just like I'm trying to get the pirate parrot mount from Expeditions, still not working out. Maybe one day. Anyway, so back to the Mythic Plus. We are just going to blitz through here with my guild, and we'll kind of go over the group comp and then give you guys any sort of commentary as we go through here. So, of course, myself, I'm my Marksman Hunter. I have Glitch as a Guardian Druid, and he did quite well. He said he wasn't sure about it, but he did great. We have Going to Get You, who is a Ret Paladin. We have Nerfo, which is a Havoc Demon Hunter, and we have JB on Morpheus as our healer. And of course, it is the same group as we did the Siege of Borealis with, but we actually chest this one and we knocked it out of the park. It was a really fun run overall, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. So we're just kind of clearing trash here, and I know there's not anything too spectacular with trash. Especially for affixes this week, I forgot to mention. It's just a +9, so there's no reaping affix. I know, I'm sad. I love the reaping affix. But there is quaking, otherwise known as earthquaking to me sometimes. I'm sure I'll say it. We have teaming, and then we have fortified. So fortified teaming weeks are usually kind of rough. But the quaking isn't too bad at all, especially for us Marksman Hunters. It's actually a joke because it doesn't really do anything other than do that little bit of damage to us. So we're just clearing these first sets of trash here. We opted to not pull the meaty pack that is down the stairs. In normal weeks, you would pull that pack because, for one, it will also spawn the boss, and it's actually worth more percent than this pull here. But it's also harder. So with fortified and teaming, there's an extra, I believe there's an extra dog and an extra enforcer, and then they're all just like beating the heck out of you, and that's just no bueno. So in the meantime, I did want to let you guys know that I do have a Twitch channel. I do vintage video games, retro games on there, a lot of Nintendo 64 stuff. I would encourage you guys to check that out if that's something that you're interested in. And I do post some of my live streams on here on YouTube. But if you did want to check out my Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Mr. Eggplant. And I would really appreciate a follow if you enjoy that sort of thing. So we're just getting ready to get to the boss here, and of course you see me have Silverfang already out because I know this place like the back of my hand. If Nerfo knows Motherlode, I definitely know Freehold. And so we'll be lusting on the first boss. We'll also be lusting on the second boss since Eudora is up. Even though it isn't tyrannical, we just get in the habit of always lusting on Eudora. So we'll lust on the first boss, we'll clear trash until our sated buff drops off, which we clear almost all the trash up to the Sharky boy, and then we double back, take out the second boss, and then move on with the rest of the dungeon. So this guy is just melting like butter. Like, I'm doing 26k right now, and Going's doing 24. We're gonna drop off a little bit after Bloodlust goes away, but we just absolutely annihilate this thing. So if you are a ranged player, you can stand out here once he jumps off of crackers, or shark bait, not crackers. The picture of his mount is a cracker, but it's shark bait. And you can just sit back here, and you won't actually get hit by Sharkbait's knockback. You can get hit by crap thrown on the ground. The green stuff can come out here. You can get hit by Azerite bombs. You can get hit by his like shotgun blast or whatever. He'll just turn randomly the boss and shoot. You will get hit by that. I believe I did on that last pull. But other than that, you can pretty much dodge everything else. And it definitely helps if you have a melee heavy comp like we normally do in my guild, just because it gives them more room to move around in the pit. So we're moving across the drawbridge here, making some pretty great time so far. And for the build that you guys, if you guys came here for obviously the Marksman Hunter point of view, I am running with Unerring Visions. You guys are probably tired of me saying that at this point. I'm currently running with 3 Unerring Visions traits, 2 in the rhythm, I've stopped calling it the rapid fire trait, and 1 focused fire. And I'm actually looking to try to get the shoulders off of the first boss in Battle for dazar'alor, off of Freda, what is it? The Champion of the Light. There we go. Because that one has Unerring Visions and it has focused fire. I want to play around with having 2 focused fires versus having 2 in the rhythms. I know that it sims higher to do, so like if you go to Icy Veins, for example, or you just go to like raid bots, that sort of thing, it will sim higher as using in the rhythm. But I'll be the first one, and in fact a lot of my commenters are also the first people that will tell me that I don't use the in the rhythm right, and I don't, and I know that that's something that I have to work on as a player. I've said that in several of my videos. So I really want to try to see what focus fire is like, because you'll just get that much more focus, and or even move into a surging shots just to see what it's like, because I haven't actually had any this expansion this far. So we're just making mincemeat of everything. That's the one nice thing about when people get in here and they want to get the entire dungeon done fast. You can usually do it. Like +9s usually, you know, they can be a little bit more difficult, but especially this week, which I really think it's a good week to push. Last week was a good week to push. I still feel like this one is as well. Like on our +10 and our +11s that we've done, maybe the +11 we weren't so close, but on the +10, we missed it by like 3 minutes. So like it's easily doable if you have a group that's committed to you know, pushing the keys and not randoms, because it can be a little bit harder with randoms. So JB will be after we finish the oarsman, which I'm always the first to interrupt on the oarsman's sea spout. That's usually my go-to thing. I'm usually the first to interrupt for every single thing, so that way we don't overlap our interrupt cooldowns. But JB is going to go invis, and he'll pull, or he'll follow around the dog. And unfortunately, since this is a teaming week, he's going to die up here because there's an extra mob. So you can go in and still, you know, interact with the dog, but you're almost always pull that extra mob. So he's going to pull, and then we're just going to let him die, and then we will res him.
Let me die.
As you hear, JB, let me die. So we've got the key here.
Just res me.
So now we're going to get the res on, and then don't forget though, we have quaking, and Glitch barely gets it off here. Watch this.
That one's tough to do. Oh, come on!
Yeah, he threaded a needle at that one. He got it off just in time.
Because there's an extra guy there. You can get it on any.
All right, so we have. Actually, we're like over halfway done with the dungeon already, believe it or not. I guess we have a lot of packs of stuff, but this stuff, we have a very good AoE comp. Like, I feel like probably Marksman Hunter is actually the worst AoE of our group. So if I'm the worst one of our group, we're usually doing pretty well. I think overall for the entire dungeon, I actually get over 20k. It was a pretty good dungeon run for myself. We want to make sure and interrupt the Frost Blast there. You always want to get those interrupted because they do an absolute crazy amount of damage. Just, you know, especially if they are fortified. Which they are this week.
Frenzy.
So like I said, we are just going to continue to push all of the trash out of the way here. We'll push up until we get our sated buff gone, since I said Eudora is up. And I don't know what it is about this. Obviously, I love pirates, and I love everything about pirates. But there's just something about this dungeon that I feel like it's really well put together. Like, this is one of my favorite dungeons for any affix. It doesn't matter, especially since they did nerf the second or the third boss. That one was a little bit rougher, but they kind of nerfed it to the ground, so maybe it didn't need as many nerfs as it received, but I mean, I won't complain. It makes it easier and makes people want to come in here more. Or maybe the fact that it drops both a weapon, a mount that I'm trying to get, and a really, really good trinket in Harlan's loaded dice. Which, spoiler alert, we get 2 of those to drop at 395 at the end of the dungeon. Too bad that I already had one. But as JB says, well, maybe I'll just roll Feral for it then. Like, he can never do that, because he is, so in this last week alone, he has raided as a boomkin, he has tanked Mythic Plus, and then he has healed Mythic Plus. Like, that guy, I swear, he can do it all. So I just want to make sure and get the blind rages away from us. Just use our bursting shot when they get right up to you, that way you can knock them back that full distance. And then I harp on it every single video, but make sure that you're using your misdirect on every chance you get. I noticed I didn't use it here, but I also didn't pull this bit either, so I probably should have been a little bit more proactive about that. But I'm pretty sure that I use it here on this next pull. We did have a bit of a line of sight issue too, is you'll be able to hear in the actual Discord conversation. So Glitch is going to go over there and he's going to pull these guys. So I pull them for him, and I thought he was going to pull them back. Well, he just kind of like stands there. So unfortunately for me, I'm thinking that they're going to come back, so I just continually stand back here. So I missed a lot of damage because of that. But that's, like I said, that's a me problem, not really anybody else problem. But I was kind of hoping that they would have pulled those back, or maybe communicated that they were going to keep them there. Because every time I'm like, oh, okay, they're gonna bring them back. They're gonna bring them back. Nope, no, they don't.
I have plenty of time to use my cooldowns.
So got to make sure I just cleave off of the crusher. It seems to be the easiest, and then I try to, if they pull me in with the harpoon grappling hook, whatever you want to call it, I want to make sure and disengage back out of that as soon as possible. That way I can continue to cast my aim shots without feeling like I might get myself killed. So there we go. Finally use my misdirect appropriately. And this build is really good for cleave too. Like, it's a really good AoE build, and it's a really good single target build. That's why I love it. Like, I can be extremely lazy with this build, and if you guys know anything about me, I love being extremely lazy. For the last 2 expansions, if you want to count this as a full one, or up to this one at least, I have found a build that works for everything, and then I don't hardly change talents ever. Like, I will just continually run the same talents, run the same gear, everything, and I have great results with it too.
They were not a threat, and now they are.
So I went ahead and pulled those as we saw an opening for them. We won't pull the 2 big guys just yet. We're going to go back and take out Eudora and whatever other guy's name is. I don't even know the other ones. I just know Eudora means bad news. But luckily, I believe Eudora was up last week, and Eudora's up this week, so she should get a week off next week, just in time for Tyrannical. So I might actually, because a lot of people don't like to do this dungeon when she's up. Just because on high keys, like 15 keys, so obviously my group is not going to be doing 15 keys yet, so I understand that. But like on 15 keys, just her regular, like, she'll just randomly pick a target and shoot like just like a pop shot at, so to speak, and she'll kill you. Like, if you're not ready for that or have a defensive or something, she'll just straight up kill you.
87, is that correct?
And that's insane, but because those happen a lot during the fight. So we'll make sure and lust here and start off. Actually did not burst very well on this. I should have been more ready for, you know, the pull, and I just wasn't. But, you know, that happens. It's all about rolling with the punches and trying to figure things out. I couldn't tell if he was throwing that on me or not. I had actually had somebody talk about if I can feign death the barrel. So he was focused, or yeah, it was him, excuse me. He was focusing me to throw the barrel, but then all of a sudden it went on JB. So I don't know. Maybe I really kind of screwed him there. So I got to make sure and watch that for next time. And if you guys know that for sure, please leave me a comment below. Let me know. And there's also, if you're a Marksman Hunter in this fight, you can have, there's a lot of safe spots. Like you just saw me when Eudora was over here on my right side, just above where my health bar is for the enemy. I can just kind of stand there. I just run over there. I'm still within range of my healer. I'm not going to get hit by anything. And if you're fast enough, you can pretty much stay there. As long as she doesn't jump over to you and then like chase you, which she really shouldn't. You should never probably get aggro on this boss. So one Eudora down. We got one guy left here, and he's fading fast. We retook the lead for DPS. Going had my number there for a little bit, but we have turned it around. And I forgot to say at the beginning of this video, item level is currently 398. So I'm not like super geared or anything like that, but you know, we're doing well.
Yeah.
These guys are about.
So we've got the two baldies here, the two crushers. I want to be careful whenever I come in here that they don't throw anything on me as soon as I'm trying to like come through or anything like that. So we bring these guys in and we immediately start the event because there's a lot of standing around. So that's one of the really good things. If you're trying to push keys on this, you want to use this time wisely. So you want to always be doing something in here while the dialogue is going on. Like I believe we pull these two crushers, but I think we pull two more as well. We'll obviously find out here in just a second. But the pig is going to come out to where we can just grab the greased pig. So we make sure and kill the targets while the pig's running around. And then if the pig's near you, click on him. If he's not, don't worry about it. And it seems to make this dungeon go a lot faster. It's a greased up pig. Maybe this here is the reason why I like this dungeon, because of just their quips back and forth. Say the things, say the things.
Almost 2%.
I just absolutely love that. So we did manage to pull both of the crushers. Take them both out really quick. As you can see, we've got the greased pig marked here, but we're just going to continue to do damage on these guys because, you know, we don't really want these guys to still be up and have the turtle bro coming at us either, because he is fortified as well because he is trash. So that would not be fun.
No, second and a half.
And if nothing else, this allows JB to actually get the pig and make himself feel better. Because if he actually needs that or anything. Yeah! Get that pig! Strafe! Yeah, whenever you strafe, whenever you have the pig, your character just does weird things.
Oh, man.
So now we have a little bit of a timer for the roleplay again. It's about 10 seconds. Or actually, it's 15.
It's gonna hurt!
Oh, DK! I love Donkey Kong 64 memes because that's obviously my favorite game of all time. It's actually something I've done quite a bit on my channel, is do all the playthroughs of that. But we're finishing up with Ludwig here. We'll see how often Nerfo can get hit by this stuff, because he has a knack, and I think he's maybe even just magnetically charged towards getting hit by these things. Like, yep, there he is. Like, he just follows him.
The turtle shell just like track you down.
Just like, I will track you down. I have a certain set of skills, and I will kill you.
Bounce fly again.
Oh, Nerfo.
Oh, that was.
So we're just finishing up here. Then that means the old King of the Ring of Booty will be out here in just a second. I'm just going to make sure and dodge all this stuff. That's the one nice thing about this too, is being having such a large range. Which, even if we didn't have a large range, we could still be able to do this. But you can pretty much just stand way in the back, and as long as you're not outranging your healer, I'm trying to think. I think in one of my videos from last season I got hit once, but like it's rare that you'll get hit by the turtle shells at all.
Customizable.
But this was the boss here that we were talking about that pre-nerf was kind of difficult. Like people would have to save their lust for this boss, but they have nerfed it to the ground pretty good. So not only there's several different sharks that he throws, and then they move slower, and then when you run them through the chum or the blood, then they basically just stop for what, like 5 seconds or something like that. So JB now, like you can see him up there, he's just cat weaving. Like he just drops his F-low and then doesn't heal any until much later. And see, so now all he's doing is he's grabbing the shark, because it used to be you want to get the shark off the healer. Well, now the healer is actually the one that's running around grabbing the shark, trying to get the aggro on the sharks, so he can just run them into the chum. And that allows us to just sit there and DPS the boss. We got 2 people doing over 20k, which is really nice. It makes these guys melt like butter on non-tyrannical weeks. So JB was nice enough to just rip the old shark right off me there, so we can continue to do our thing.
Don't go to the shark. Stop it.
Stop going to the shark, says JB.
Oh, it's gonna go on me. Yeah, it is. Or not.
It's crazy just to think. I'm trying to think. So, for example, like doing heroic old deer, for example, how much our damage has went up since then. It's crazy. I mean, granted that it is like 20 item levels, so they're and especially like weapon item level is a huge deal because damage goes up significantly with that. But like it's just crazy to think how much our damage has went up just in this game so far. Granted, it's not like, oh, I'm doing 200k in Emerald Nightmare and now I'm doing 2 million in Taurus. Maybe not that crazy, but with this new raid coming out, which I don't think it'll be next week since 8.1.5 will be out next week, but I'm probably thinking it's going to be the week after that it officially opens. I guess I don't technically know. We'll find out. But I mean, 8.2 won't be too far off. I'm assuming like June would be 8.2 or so, maybe even sooner than that. And we're going to be having to dish out some serious amount of damage pretty quickly, I think, for some of these fights.
Whatever.
I want to make sure and interrupt the oarsmen, as we talked about earlier. Nice and easy. They're just like bugs splattered on our windshield at this point. Like we are just rolling through this place.
Quite a bit of damage.
I really think that if we had some of our Canadian buddies that I refer to often in my Mythic Pluses, we might even be able to 3-chest this thing. Like it would be significantly increased damage overall.
Barrages moving from them.
Because we also would have rogue skips, because rogue strats are super OP right now.
Yeah. Should be. Yeah.
Just because you can skip so much. Although in this dungeon we wouldn't have skipped too much, just because it is a teaming week, of course. So we're at 97%. As soon as these guys go down, that should be our even 100. I think we weren't over by much either. See, like we maybe didn't need to pull one of the crushers, maybe, but other than that, nothing. Like we were right up on that 100%. We get to Harlan here with 13 minutes still left in the dungeon.
I will sit now. Go. 3, 2, 1.
Go. We'll make sure, and we will lust here. Excuse me, I can't talk today. Lust in 45 seconds when we do lose our sated buff or debuff. So I wanted to make sure and have my pet out, because nothing hurts your DPS worse than having to stop and call your pet during the battle and that sort of thing. I have got to the point where sometimes I just dismiss my pet later in a fight, and I need to get in the habit of not doing that. When you get the cannonball shots at you, just want to make sure and slowly move around. And I'm just going to stand over here because I can soak these guys, and then I'll immediately pop my personal heal, and then I don't have to worry about it. Because that every time I spend focus, that's whittling down that cooldown. And Exhilaration is super strong right now. Like it heals me for almost 70% of my health thanks to some really cool Azerite traits.
Fair point.
So I've got another barrage on me. I'll run this one forward, and then I should disengage back over them. Just making sure that I don't drop anything on any of our group mates here. So I did soak that one as well, but I'm standing in the E-flow, so it is not bad. So move the cannon barrage over the back. I shouldn't have turned my back to the boss, but oh well. So we're just melting him here. Like we're doing over 20k right now. That's pretty good, and not bad for a burst only build, as some people think this build is. You burst enough to where it's sustained, in my opinion. Like you do really well with this build. So we did +2 this dungeon. This was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I didn't get any items, but the group did gain 2 395 Harlan's loaded dice that nobody's probably going to use, unfortunately. But I will be posting more Mythic Plus videos. If you guys like those, please drop me a subscribe on the channel, leave a like on the video, and comments would be appreciated. Let me know what you guys think about these so far. I have all the live streams on Twitch. I hope you guys would check those out, or at least drop by and say hi. And I think that's all I have to plug. So until my next live stream or video, I'll see you guys later.